All right, welcome back. I can't wait to tell you a little bit more about Chris Atkins. Cheryl joins us because she actually plays a whole part in this, and she loves to say, did you know Chris before I knew Chris?
I don't think so, because I actually remember Chris telling me about this guy, Joe Amaral, that he works with
okay.
in Israel, and I can't even imagine that was 10 years ago, and now we're hosting together. Like, I didn't even know you at the time.
And we're all sitting on this platform together talking about all the amazing things
we've done
that
a
God
little
has done.
traveling ourselves to some dangerous places. We'll talk more about that.
We're going to share about that in just a few minutes, but I want to talk about Russia, because every time we travel to Israel, we have all these long flights and long car rides, and you tell me these crazy stories.
Yep.
One about, well, I know it's not called the KGB anymore, but tell me about what happened.
Okay, well, Bill Prankard, if you guys know Bill Prankard.
We do, we love Bill.
I'm sure some of your viewers know him. Bill is an amazing guy, and I mean, I think adventure is his middle name. But Bill, we would go up there and do these trips to Arctic Russia, to go out to the natives, Bill's goal was to go out there and bring the gospel to them, but also to bring them food and clothing and stuff that they needed, right? And when he would do that, I was there to document it. But there's a few times where Bill couldn't make it.
Okay.
So, well, I think the second time, Bill sent me with another team, and it was during that trip where we'd have to go out in these tanks, these armored, like decommissioned Soviet troop transports, these tracked vehicles.
So cool.
It was amazing. But the smell of diesel and these things would catch on fire all the time. And I can remember being in the front of one as we're out in the middle of the tundra, hundreds of miles from anywhere. And there's no radio, there's no nothing. And I remember being in the front of the tank, and the Russians started yelling. I couldn't understand what they're saying. They pushed me out into the snow. And I look up as I'm trying to get my stuff on, because this is December in Siberia.
So like minus 50 or something like that.
Exactly, yeah. And I see flames shooting out of the top of the tank. And I start to think, I'm dead.
We're going to die. I know, because in places like that, your car breaks down, you're dead.
That's
if
it.
You're remote, right?
Yeah, that's your shelter, your transportation. It's got your food, it's got your people in the back. That's it. And then I remember a few trips after that when I was with Bill and Gwen, man, what a team, those two. But there we are, this was in the summertime, and we came off the tundra a day early, and then we find out from some people in town that the FSB or the KGB is looking for us.
That's not good.
No.
Never.
No, it was not good.
But they don't come out to the tundra, right? Do they?
Apparently, I think someone had said that they were preparing to start searching for us.
Oh, wow.
So it's kind of territorial. I think we'd stepped on somebody's toes. We didn't pay the right group some money, and countries like that, that's how you got to grease the wheel to get things done. And I guess we did something that somebody went to the FSB and said we were spies and said all kinds of crazy stuff about us. So we went, I remember that day going down. It was actually my birthday.
Oh, and, nice. Happy birthday. Here's your prison cell.
Yeah, exactly. And Bill's like, well, let's go get this straightened out. And so we went down to the police station, to the FSB office. They're stationed there. And we walked in, and the looks on their faces, you just walked in? And so, we're trying to cooperate. Well, they take us into custody. They put us in an interrogation room for like 13 hours. I remember them tearing my equipment apart, making me erase the hard drives on the computer, all this kind of stuff. And then the scariest part, I think, of that whole ordeal is Bill tells our translator to tell them that we want our phone call. And our translator looks at him and says, "We get a phone call?" And that's when I realized, whoa, this isn't Canada.
No.
Yeah, they don't play by the same rules. But and to get out, we had to sign a confession saying we crossed borders illegally. They didn't charge us with spying, but we had to sign a confession saying we crossed borders illegally, and they put us on the next plane back to
So now,
to Canada.
Were you able to ever go back? Do you have a record in Russia? Or?
Well, I think so. I've got a copy of my confession.
So you haven't been back
Well,
since?
I've been back twice. Yeah, it took 2 years. We couldn't get in for a couple of years, but then Bill, when Bill's got his mind set to do something, he does it, and so he worked real hard.
I like that story because he's like, we almost died out in the tundra because the tank caught on fire, and then we were interrogated by the FSB. And then when I went back, it's like, you went back?
Why not?
He did. That's Chris, because he believes in the power of media, and speaking of the power of media, we've done a lot of, I believe, powerful media over the years.
Maybe too much.
Well,
I'm kidding.
I don't know if you guys can see this here.
Wow.
I'm holding up, these are just some of the videos that Chris and I have done together. Unearthed, a series about archaeology in the land, the Understanding of Jesus
Some of
documentary.
this we've offered on the show, for
Yeah,
sure. Story in the Stars.
Well, yeah, I think what people will know us most for is for the First Century Foundation's TV show. Chris and I got to travel all across the country. We got to meet these amazing archaeologists.
Oh, yeah.
Is there one, either person or experience that kind of stands out in your mind,
Oh,
Chris?
man, there's so many. It's hard to pick just one. But, I mean, working with Dan Bahat was always fun, and I believe he's been on the show before.
Yeah.
But I think one of our last trips together, I think, was the most fun for me. And, you know, sorry, but it's because I got to watch you squirm a little bit when we went into that tomb.
Him? Squirm?
You know what? Which tomb?
The tomb of the leper.
Oh, with the giant spider.
The spider, the Spider King tomb.
You're bringing that up on television. Okay.
Oh, you didn't.
Yeah.
You didn't say I couldn't.
Was he was scared of a tiny little spider?
Well,
It wasn't tiny. It was like this.
it was pretty creepy.
And there was an audible sound that came out of me that I'm very, very ashamed of.
Yes.
But
Well,
it came out.
the funny part is we're with the archaeologist. We go down and we're talking about this tomb. He's telling us about this tomb where they found the body of a leper from the time of Jesus.
Yeah, that was amazing.
And it's in the valley of Gehenna, right, which is kind of crazy. And so we walked outside of Jerusalem and we had to climb down this cliff. And he's telling us about it. And when initially we had booked this guy, all of us had thought that this tomb was maybe a tourist thing. And we'll go in, we'll walk, we'll take pictures. There might be a gift shop. But we go
gift shop.
We get down there and there's this rock with a hole like that.
Yeah, like those tombs in Israel. I've seen those.
Yeah.
It's like a little hole.
Yeah, and the archaeologist says, "Okay, well, I'll go in first, and then you guys, I'll clear the spiders out, and the snakes, and you guys come in afterwards." And I remember you looking at me and saying, "We could just stand outside, right, bud? We could just talk about the tomb from outside." I'm like, "Dude, no, we got to go in."
Always pushing for a better shot. That's Chris Atkins.
Yeah. And then I remember, I had to go first so I could get the shot of you sliding down in, and you had to stick your feet in, lay on your back, and wiggle into this dark space. And then once we're in there, the guy says, "Now the actual spot is down here," and we had to go down.
The second level.
Yeah, we had to
That's
go
right.
down further into this tomb and wriggle through this.
The elevator was out of service, so we had to like crawl on our hands and knees.
Claustrophobia. Anyone? Oh my goodness.
Well, you know what? We actually only have 2 minutes left. I can't believe it. I want to talk about the connection here of why Cheryl is joining us. You guys traveled together on a ministry trip for Crossroads.
We did. I think I actually worked you harder than I have any cameraman ever in my history. And one of my cameramen who travels the world is right here. I'm not sure he's going to want to talk with you after. But we were in the Northwest Territories. We were shooting stories, inspirational stories, but also a travel show in our spare time.
Yes.
Do you remember that?
That was awesome. And yes, I've never had longer days than I've had with you.
I know, right? I think my cameraman said he heard about the trip and he got busy, and then because he knew, because we had daylight till midnight, so we'd start at 9 in the morning, we'd work till midnight.
Yeah, I can remember trying to film you. I think it was around 1 o'clock in the morning. We were trying to do a segment with you on this dock, and both of us kind of got the giggles and could not stop laughing. There must have been 25
I couldn't
takes.
even articulate. I was so tired. And you always said that's the only time in all your travels you ever had to shoot with a shotgun because of grizzly bears, right?
All the places that I've been where I've had to wear a bulletproof vest, but I'm with you and I have to carry a gun because they're worried about bears.
That's our Cheryl Weber.
Our last 30 seconds. There's so much more we want to unpack. Iraq, Afghanistan, there's no time. But you know what? The real question is, why do you do all this? And just why do you believe in the power of media to tie with a Christian message?
Well, you have to show people. I mean, it's one thing, in the old days you'd repeat stories, but now we have the ability to show things and show people what's true, because you can alter so much, and even in media we can alter so much, but being able to take people there to places that maybe they'll never go and meet people that they would never meet and share these stories, you have to do it. And so I really feel that we need to do this and educate and inspire and even entertain people, believers, to show them that their faith is real, the Bible is real, and there's proof. You and I have seen so much proof of this physically of the Bible, and then being with you and showing people's lives that have been changed in a place in Canada that most people will never ever get to. It's so powerful when you can show people.
Yeah, well, we just want to bless you and thank you for all the work that you do. And maybe we'll have you back on the show, and people can go to onemedia.ca to check out more about you, right?
That's right, yep.
Yeah, listen, awesome.
Fun, totally fun having you.